YouTube? In today's video, I'm giving you guys my top 5 best loadouts here after the update. If y'all enjoyed this video, give it a like for the algorithm, subscribe with notifications turned on, and let's get into it. First loadout we're going to be getting into here is going to be the Kompakt. This is a very high level SMG that I think you guys are really going to enjoy. This thing's got a crazy fast TTK, super good, and the first attachment on here is going to be the compensator. So this is a really solid attachment because it has a crazy eye of fire. We take a look at the overall fire rate here at 1091, which puts it at pretty much the fastest SMG in the entire game. So we need that compensator to help with our vertical recoil control, which it really does. It makes all the difference in the world. After that, in the barrel section, we go throw on the long barrel, just increase our overall damage range. We really like extending out our overall range, so the long barrel will be absolutely crucial in helping us extend it out as much as possible. I believe it's a great attachment here for this gun. After that, in the underbarrel section, we're gonna throw on the vertical foregrip here, just to kind of help us out with our horizontal recoil control. We got vertical with the compensator, we got horizontal here with the vertical foregrip. Kind of weird that the vertical helps the horizontal, a little bit odd, but it does a really good job at controlling that horizontal, so it makes the gun so much more usable than it would be otherwise. It's not really like bad to use, but it makes it a lot more usable, and so you can pick people off at longer distances. And of course, we don't really need even an optic because to be honest with you guys, I think just when you have the right recoil control and you can utilize the iron sights, it looks like the Cuda from Black Ops 3, and I really like those iron sights, so I'm really enjoying them here on this gun. And now moving into, of course, the next attachment for the magazine, we have on the Extended Mag 2, one of the only guns in the game where I'll willingly go for the Extended Mag 2. The reason being is because the reload speed is really not all that bad when you have this on there. I actually like that quite a bit, and I have 50 rounds in the mag, and especially for a super fast fired SMG, this makes a difference having 50 as opposed to 40. I'd say just go for the 50 and you'll be good right there. Rear grip section here, we're gonna throw on the assault grip, and this can help with our overall sprint to fire speed. Sprint to fire makes a huge difference when you're trying to run around, be agile and mobile with an SMG, get up close to people. I mean, obviously when you're sprinting, the thing you have to do is get your sprint to fire up, so having something that helps your overall sprint to fire does really make a difference, so we have that on there. Stock section, we go for the infiltrator stock, which helps with our aim walking movement speed. I actually just unlocked the balance stock. I haven't had a chance to personally test this out, but I was dropping some heater gameplays using the infiltrator stock, so if I'm gonna tell you guys to go do anything, it'd be the infiltrator, though the balance would be good. And the no stock, you can technically use that, but the balance stock would be my preference. If I'm gonna go for something different, I'd go for the balance as opposed to the infiltrator, but I was using the infiltrator a whole lot, so between these two, it's kind of up to you on that one. Now we're going to the laser section, and this is kind of one of those attachments I'm running because I'm not going to go for an optic. So we have the steady aim laser on here, which just helps with our overall hipfire spread. You get up close, you can hipfire somebody, and this thing, just because it has such a high rate of fire, you can absolutely demolish somebody. When you have the steady aim laser on there, it for real is a great attachment, and it's definitely saved my bacon a little bit here in some of them close quarters gunfights. Lastly, in the fire mods, I just went for the overpressured rounds to give me more bullet velocity because I have better damage range on this thing already. Because I already have great damage range on this gun, I was like, let's just increase the overall bullet velocity of it. I didn't feel the need to add on the rapid fire. The rapid fire gives you an 8% increase, which is cool, pushing out to about 1100 rounds per minute, which is pretty nice, or almost 1200, but we really don't need that. It's got such a fast fire rate anyways. There's no reason to go throwing rapid fire over something like the parabellum overpressure rounds. I mean, if anything, you could just take this off and throw in an optic if you really wanted to go that route. But overall, I'd say this is the way to go, and maybe even this one if you want to go for that. But I just don't really feel like I need an optic, and here's of course the full build, so try this out. Next up, we're gonna give you guys a build here for the AK-74. It's gonna be a 5 attachment build because you don't really need 8 attachments on the AK-74. Totally up to you though, and you can realistically just take the attachments I give you and then put the other 3 on there, kind of build off my build, and it'll work out great. But overall, for 5 attachments, I think I found a really nice setup here for you. So first thing is gonna be the suppressor or the compensator. Compensator will lower your overall vertical recoil. The suppressor, of course, will not. You will feel the difference. I've ran it with both. I mean, if I'm running UAV counter heart, because that's what I like to do when I'm ranking up, especially when I'm playing Nuketown, I really don't feel as obligated to run a suppressor, but it is nice. I've tried out both, so suppressor, compensator, give it a shot. Whichever is going to work best for you. I just run the suppressor or comp, just depending on the lobby, how I'm feeling. After that, skipping the barrel, going straight to the underbarrel. The reason we're skipping the barrel is just because I don't really feel like it needs extra range or bullet velocity, especially when I'm playing Nuketown or these other maps. I'm really not outside of assault rifle range or the point where I feel like it needs to be extended, so I've kind of not done that, and some of the other stat websites and stat people have backed it up on that, where you don't need a barrel. Just be nice to add maybe if you have 8 attachments, but for 5 you don't need it. So of course we have the vertical foregrip in here just to kind of help us our horizontal recoil. It's one of my favorite attachments in the game for the underbarrel. Just works out so nicely, and I'd say for you guys to go ahead and run it on this gun. After that magazine, there's basically 2 really good options in here. Basically the one being the fast mag 1, and then of course the extended mag 1. I haven't had as much experience running extended mag 2 or even something like the flip mag. The flip mag I kind of would stay away from because it's only got 25 rounds in the mag. Extended mag 3, that's kind of ridiculous. This makes it look like an RPK, and I don't think that's beneficial. Of course fast mag 2, that gives you only 20 rounds, which is pretty chalked. So I'd say, I mean, listen, go for extended mag 1, fast mag 1, and if you want to get a little bit wild with it and be real slow, you can be extended mag 2 or have that on your gun. But for me, basically I just alter between these two depending on how I'm trying to play the game. If I'm trying to be more aggressive, fast mag 1. If I want to sit back a little bit more, extended mag 1. Now we're gonna go in here, of course, to the rear grip section and throw on the commando grip. Helping with my ADS speed and my sprint to fire speed. I really like this because, you know, this allows me to still be, you know, agile and mobile and compete with some of these other SMGs because I don't have a super chalk sprint to fire or ADS speed. It still allows me to kind of get in there and be a bit aggressive without feeling like, you know, I'm dragging around like, you know, cinder blocks or something like that on this gun. It allows you to feel just like you can compete. And lastly, in the stock section, we have the balance stock, which I've ran on so many of my different assault rifles here, but aim locking movement speed, hip fire movement speed, strafing movement speed, great stuff here. So I'd recommend for you guys to run that. And of course, here's my full build for the AK. Next up, I'll need you guys to build here for the C9, really awesome SMG. Super hard hitting, and I got a great setup for you guys, so we're gonna jump in here. First thing is gonna be the suppressor. I think this is definitely the most elite way to run the C9. Have a suppressor on there, stay off the radar, kind of really be in and around people's spawn points. This is great, so I really like running this. I don't feel compelled to run the compensator on this gun. I just go for the suppressor. After that barrel section, we're gonna go for the long barrel in here, increase our overall damage range. Within the most recent patch update where they kind of weirdly did some balancing, I wasn't expecting that before season 1 dropped here with Warzone on the 14th. I was really expecting them to kind of hold off on doing weapon balancing, but they did, and a lot of the SMGs got a buff, including the C9, and we just have making better use of that buff by having the long barrel on there. So I just recommend for you guys to go for that because this thing hits really hard. Underbarrel section, we got the Ranger foregrip on for our horizontal recoil control and sprinting movement speed. This is great. I mean, I just like having a little bit extra sprinting movement speed, and the horizontal recoil, it controls it perfectly. I don't need any more than this. I just find that I want it to be a little bit faster and get some horizontal recoil. This is just, you know, of course, the attachment for me. Magazine section, I went for the extended mag 1. I was flipping back and forth between the flip mag, no pun intended, but I've been going for extended mag here, and it's pretty much on every single time I use this gun. It doesn't matter what the situation is. I don't really ever feel like I have to have a faster reload speed, so I've been sticking with the extended mag 1, and it's worked out great. Especially because I've been YYing here by using my controller back paddle because I have the PS5 DualSense Edge. So I've been using that. I just kind of map my button, my triangle down there to kind of YY when I get that magazine slid in there. I don't let the reload animation finish. So I've been pretty cool with running that. Rear grip section, we're gonna throw on the assault grip for that sprint to fire. It's an SMG, you need better sprint to fire, so we're gonna throw that on there. Pretty simple. Stock section, we're throwing on the no stock here. And the reason we got this on here, I mean, you get great hip fire movement speed, double boost to your movement speed and your strafing movement speed. So nothing about your sprint to fire, which I wish the no stock would add that in there. But overall, the pros on this thing are incredible, and it doesn't, of course, mess your recoil. I really like how a lot of the guns here, pretty much 99% of the guns or 99% of the attachments have no cons. Maybe you might have thrown on like a ginormous mag, then you'll have some cons, but overall, nothing's gonna mess your recoil, which I like quite a bit. And so we have the no stock for that. And then second to last, we have the steady aim laser. It's an SMG, we're gonna aim close quarters, so we got the steady aim laser on that one. And then fire mods, we have the recoil springs, which will help you out even further, making sure that this thing has 0 recoil. I don't believe the rapid fire is as good on this gun. It's okay, I've tried it, but I just really like the recoil springs. And I feel like this gun in this exact setup, it's unbelievably hard. It's ridiculous. Next up, we're gonna jump into a build here for the XM4. This is still pretty much like the #1 AR in the game right now. I'd say for you guys to go ahead and run this, you know, gun at any point in your prestige. It works out great for everything. But our first attachment here is the Q Spot Reflex. I've been sticking with this here for a little while now. I actually don't have one of the other red dot sights, the Kepler Micro Reflex, because on my account, within about 2 levels, if you see right above me, I'll get access to the AS Val. I have to actually rank that gun up. That's like the only AR I have not touched or got to a really good level. Just because, I mean, I was shadow banned first, and then, you know, I've been ranking other guns up, and I didn't take it with me in my prestige token. I used that token on the Harp. So I haven't had access to it yet, but I don't really, I would say the Q Spot Reflex or the Merlin Reflex are great options. And then you can run that Kepler Micro Reflex if you happen to have that. I'm not sure where it is down there in the category, but basically these 2 options are great. Now after that, we're gonna go for the muzzle. We're gonna go for the ported compensator. You can go for the ported, you can go for the regular compensator, but this is actually pretty cool. I really do like that it helps with the first shot recoil and of course your vertical recoil control. This gun has that tendency to bounce a little bit, so as soon as you control it, this gun gets very, very lethal and super like a laser beam. So I like that. This is also one of those guns where if you feel like you're very experienced, you can just kind of go for a suppressor and you can control the recoil yourself. But overall, I think a compensator works out better for a majority of people that are going to play this game. Skipping the barrel section, going straight for the underbarrel. This is another case for one of the guns where you're not really outside of assault rifle range, so it pays more dividends to have a more accurate shot rather than a gun that's going to hit a little bit harder at range. It does make the difference like quite a bit when you do it like this, as opposed to having a barrel on there. Overall, our next attachment here is the vertical foregrip to help with our horizontal recoil. We, you know, helps the vertical with that muzzle. Now we're gonna get the horizontal. This is just gonna work out fantastic. So we have this on here. Magazine section we go through on the Extended Mag 2. This can help us out with our overall, you know, of course, magazine ammo capacity, bumping us up from 30 to 60. I have ran Extended Mag 1, which gives you 45 rounds. That'll help you be a bit more mobile. You have no cons, of course. Extended Mag 2 does apparently mess with your ADS speed, reload quickness, and sprint to fire. So be a little bit cognizant of that. If you feel like you can get away with 45, you will be faster running the Extended Mag 1 over 2 and altering between the 2 of them. And I found that I was pretty okay with running this over Extended Mag 1. For our last attachment, to go for the Commando Grip, helping our ADS speed and sprint to fire. Makes us more agile, mobile, allows you to be a bit more kind of like up in people's faces, kind of getting on that OBJ, being a bit aggressive with your AR. This is what the setup allows you to do. So I like that. And this is my full build here for the XM4. And for our final gun here today, we have the Model L, and we have for our first attachment, the Q Spot Reflex. This is just such a great, you know, optic. I've been running this between this and of course the Merlin Reflex. This is really solid. So I got pretty much between these two. Really can't go too wrong. And of course, like I said, once you happen to use the AS Val, get it to a high enough level and you get that Kepler Micro Reflex, you can go ahead and run that. Muzzle section, throw on the suppressor just because this gun has not a very fast fire rate, so the recoil is very easy to manage. And I'd say that, I mean, I don't really need a compensator, so I just rather stay off the radar. So I have the suppressor on here that does a lot of work. Barrel section, we have the long barrel on here because this is indeed a full 8 attachment setup, so we can use a barrel. There's really not a lot of categories which you can, you know, avoid when you're running an 8 attachment setup. You basically have one open, and of course we're not going to leave the barrel section open to extend out our overall damage range. So we got that on there. Under barrel section, vertical foregrip, just to help us out maximum possible capabilities with our horizontal recoil. It does really help out. I like it. I've noticed this gun have very, very little recoil. I can beam people at ranges, and I like that a lot. Magazine, we're gonna go for the Extended Mag 1. I just think that this has 40 rounds, like is perfectly fine. Extended Mag 2 would actually be okay to try. I personally haven't tried it, so I can't recommend it. I've been running Extended Mag 1, and I feel like the reload speed is fine. It's not like the absolute greatest, but it's also not like piss poor slow, where this one you're technically not losing any speed, but you start acquiring ADS penalties and sprint to fire penalties. So give it a try at your own risk. But I've been running this here, and it's been going great, and I've dropped actually a couple nukes with it. This exact setup. Rear grip section, we have the Assault Grip here to help with our sprint to fire speed. This does make a large difference when you're trying to be a little bit more aggressive, so I like to have that on there. And then the stock section, we have the light stock, which you guys could definitely go for the balance stock. I've been running the light stock a lot, and so I'm just going to kind of recommend that, but the balance stock would probably ultimately be a bit of a better option. I just haven't been running it because I didn't have it leveled up for that. This is like 36 out of 45, and I only just managed to get this, which is kind of crazy. So balance stock, light stock, up to you guys. Skip the laser, go for the fire mods, and we're going to go for the overpression rounds to increase our bullet velocity, which means that of course we have our damage range barrel, we have the bullet velocity for these rounds, makes it so your gun's real effective, and this is going to be an absolute heater. So this is my full build. This has been my top 5. Guys, enjoyed this video, give it a like for the algorithm, subscribe, notifications turned on, check out this other video on screen. I'll see you all next time.